So there's some airflow coming through there too.
So what does the blue mean again?
Blue is colder.
And what is red?
Red is just that's warmer.
Oh.
So red is hot, blue is cold. So if it's wet, the moisture is going to be whatever saturated the building materials is going to be colder. So you can see right there. Now some of this too is the fact that the baseboard is gone, and there's a gap right there, so I'm going to be getting the concrete reading as well.
So let's look at a non.
That's why with combination of my moisture meter, I can find that stuff. See, it's just a little line right there. It's very tricky, and when you move it, it doesn't. Just because, like, when I go to one place, it'll turn all blue, and then it'll kind of settle out. So, see, like, you can see, I like the blue right there.
But you saw moisture with your moisture reader all the way up to here.
Yes.
But
see, what this will really just show me the penetration points.
Right.
And in this case, it's not even the penetration point; it's the bottom where everything's settled out. So, let's say you've got a roof leak. Your two wettest spots are going to be right where it comes through here, and then where it hits on the bottom. And sometimes it even dries out in the middle. So, doesn't mean that it's leaking in underneath. It just means that's where it collects because it's the bottom. The whole way.
Yeah, Doug, why don't you get in here, because you're the one who needs it. Yeah. Those flip cameras are fabulous.
See that blue spot right there?
Yeah.
It's right along there. Right along the right there. Right, that's where the sprinkler head is hitting right there.
Right.
See that whole thing? Since it's a vacant house, we don't have to deal with people living here. So we can basically set up almost like a full containment in this bottom floor. We'll seal off the stairs for the upstairs. We'll seal off the individual rooms that we don't need to have with plastic. And we'll put a bunch of air movers and air scrubbers in here that when we tear all of this out, the dust and any contaminants that are in the wall will be filtered in the air. So while that happens, while we're doing all the demo, we'll reveal the walls. Then we go and we sand and grind down the wood to physically get rid of the layer of wood that the mold could be growing on. You just can't wipe it off because it's got little talons and it grows in.
Right. So
you sand it, you physically get rid of that layer. Then we treat it all with biocide to kill everything. Then we encapsulate it all with basically an antimicrobial primer, which then, if there's still anything left in the wood, now it's all sealed in with an microbial paint, basically. Then we put new insulation, build it all back, tape, mud, texture, and new baseboards. That's what happens on the inside. On the outside, you need to replace the sprinkler head with drip systems or something that's not going to be hitting the exterior. And then wherever there is damaged stucco, that needs to be just scraped off down to the hard concrete, retextured, and put back together and painted. So that's basically the procedure.
That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong there.
Okay, so that's why. Okay.
But you still have poorly placed sprinklers.
Oh, is there some over here?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is just
Are
your
the sprinklers behind the bushes?
Yeah.
Well, then, so you just want to point them outward. Oh, you mean that?
this area over here, where they're opening that window right now, it's had water a long time. Bottom line, pretty much all the landscaping here and all the landscape water was right at, almost aimed at the walls in most cases. So the entire house so far, and he's done about 70% of it, is showing moisture at all of those locations where there are exterior walls because so much water's been poured on it over time. There is the window in the family room that we're going to need to open up the wall because this has the most amount of water in it. No sunlight gets in here. There's a shot of the moss that's growing through the water, and then you see we're sitting here with a sprinkler head that sprays not only, you can see that it's spraying both ways. So, and you can see for our wood rot, when even above it, there is a gutter, so that water is strictly self-induced, the amount of water that's gotten on that sill. But as you can see, this is the wettest area around the house and where we found the most water impact on the interior wall. But it's a condition that exists all around the building. This hedging system has been keeping the sunlight off it, capturing the water.